Alright, here we are back out in the garage finishing up the fuel system. Or we're gonna try to finish it up today. We'll see how far we can get. There's still a lot to do. But the plan right now is we gotta get this fuel pump hanger. I'm gonna blow that off, clean that off before I pull it out. Get that kind of cleaned up. We gotta drill out the hole and stuff because we're doing a dash 8 and then get it over here into the new fuel cell. The 535 pump that we got, it didn't come with like a strainer or none of that stuff. I didn't realize that. So got it on Amazon. Boost Monkey got us the strainer, the install kit. So we're gonna get that tackled, and then we're probably gonna do like a test fit with this thing, get it up there, and then we know where we gotta put the, like where we gotta like route lines and all that stuff. So hopefully we can get the fuel system knocked out today. That's the goal. So let's get to it. Sounded like Transformers. Surprised that there's all the studs on here. These aren't broke. Usually, one of them, or at least usually broke on these things. Stupid. I need to cut those and get these the hell out of here. It's just pain. Let's see, my light did. Alright, this is the factory fuel feed, the return, and this is like a evap or whatever. So it'd be nice to get these all out of here, but then it starts messing with like the brake line brackets and stuff. So I don't want to mess with all that shit right now. So I'm probably just gonna like clean. Probably just, I don't know. Maybe I'll just cut them right here, so that way this bracket still kind of holds them and they're not flopping and stuff. And down the road, if we do some new brake lines and stuff, we can get back underneath here and fully take all those out. But I think for now, that'll be the plan. I'll just get my multi-tool, zap them off there, and then those would be good. And this will be out of the way, and then we got some hose, and we get better at recording here. We got some hose that we'll just go. We just need to, once this is out the way, little piece of rubber hose to connect these two, because this is like the breather vent for the fuel filler right here. And this guy's still in pretty good shape, so this hose. So we just got to 90 this, slap that back on. And that's it for the filler. Plugs right in. So yeah, this is a nice tank, man. And then like I said, we'll just have to cut a little bit of hose there, which we got some. Slap some worm clamps on there. This is the fitting for the return. So that's nice and accessible. So that'd be nice to get that all plumbed. Trying to figure out, I mean, I think where he had these running was like next to the exhaust and stuff, but I don't know. I'll have to figure out where I want to mount that. Where we want to do the fuel filter and stuff. So we got some figuring out to do there, but let's go check out the filler, the feed. Okay, so well, this kind of works out in this instance for this. This pumpkin's cut out, so it looks like you got to do that pumpkin cut out regardless. It's kind of weird though, because I thought this was like a direct bolt in, but the factory feed line, that won't. I can see it hanging down there. Like, that's chilling. That's not going to reach over to where this now sits. So I guess, I don't know if it says online that you got to do fuel supply lines or what, but this is going to be fine because we can just go whoosh, and then dip down right underneath there. Damn, this makes it really accessible to get, you know, to work on this thing. I'll just slap this guy back over here. Do a little cover up for that. I don't know, we're not going to mess with that for too long. That's fine just like how it is for now. I mean, down the road, what would be ideal is like what usually happens. I mean, we can cut this cleaner and then get a new piece of sheet metal to put in here to smooth this all out back here, and then like have an access door right there and stuff. But that's down the road. That's some, I know someone makes them for 2Gs. I don't know if someone makes them for 1Gs, but so I don't even know if we really got to pull the tank back out. I thought I was going to kind of test fit it, but since I have access up here, I can feed the line through there. So that's pretty dope. So all right, I'm going to go underneath, get a game plan for trying to get where I kind of want to route the lines and all that stuff, and where the fuel, well, I know the fuel filter, I'm going to put that in the engine bay. I don't know why that was underneath the car. That's foolish, but figure out where I want to route these lines. All right, let's get these nice new fuel injectors put in this thing. Get the fuel rail and stuff back on. new field injectors are in. Like I said, we got some 2400s from Alpha. They come with these little pigtail adapters, like I said, which is just kind of nice plug and play. We do got to put the C-clips though, which I don't know if there was some on this car or if we're gonna have to get some, but there's little C-clips. They go in here so that these don't, because otherwise these just pop right out. Old school style. So gotta get those on, but injectors are in. We just got down to where the fuel filter is gonna go, which ends up like it like barely clears everything down here. This big old intake manifold, and engine bay is kind of clustered, but I'm not happy with this throttle body, this Q45, but we're gonna roll with it for now. We're not gonna change nothing because then I have to add an extension probably onto the pipe. So I just don't like that thing. It's ugly. There's a lot new nicer throttle bodies, but we'll switch that up down the road. But fuel filter is gonna go here. This is gonna be the out. We're just gonna wrap that. Just gonna wrap that along right to here. Boom, for the feed. This side will go back to the tank, so we'll just do a 90 straight down and run it with the lines. And this one, I don't know if I wonder, need to get like a 45 would be ideal, or possibly might do another 90 and just kind of point it down at an angle, and then this 190 and just kind of have a loop kind of up underneath the intake manifold. Or I guess it would go, you can go 90 out, rest over the intake manifold, and then like to like a 45, but I'd rather have it like go kind of swoop down underneath the intake manifold, so I'll have to figure that out. And then the pressure regulator, which that's what I'm messing with right now. We're gonna mount that in like this area, but we got to build a bracket for it because the old bracket broke. It's weak, which maybe I can just clean this. It's gotta be aluminum, right? Yeah, that's aluminum. Well, I'm just gonna cut some of the stock that I got and I guess make a little bit beefier bracket, and then go onto the back of there, and then we'll just do like a little up so that just kind of works right into the firewall. So that's what we're doing. Quick little bracket, nothing too fancy, but that worked perfect. I like the placement of that. So it's up, see the gauge. It's going to clear obviously the hood. The hood should clear easily, and then it's easy to make adjustments. See the gauge kind of up out of the way. Kind of get down here to the battery and stuff. So happy with that. Fuel filter's there. So now we just gotta start running lines. I'm trying to decide what's easier, to run lines from here back or from the back forward. I don't think it really matters at all. So it's just going to be kind of the most time consuming part, and the tedious part is getting those lines in, because I got to do all that on the ground and stuff. It would be nice if I had a lift, if I had a bigger shop, but we don't. So I got the car up on the ground, or up in the air pretty good. It's off the ground decent amount. So let's start with this. We'll grab the dash 8, the feed line, and then we'll get to knocking this shit out. We got the first line, or we got the fitting finally on for the feed line. This is my first time doing the PTFE lines. I've always done just like the rubber lines, so these ones are a little bit different. So that was the dash 8. So now I'm gonna grab the dash 6 out of here, which is crazy because it screwed me up, because like I said, I've always dealt with just like the rubber lines, which is this stuff right here. This is like dash 6. This is dash 6 rubber, and this is dash 6 PTFE, which obviously the inner diameter is going to be like the same as what you got here. It's just the rubber hose makes this a lot thicker. So like this is sweet, but these lines are a lot skinnier. I like that, because then it's not as big and bulky, because like dash 8 is huge. So like on NFT, on the race car, once I redo the fuel system and stuff, probably on that chassis, it's going to be fine. Once I move it over into the GSX chassis, which it will no longer be NFT because the GSX is in a Talon. So NFT stands for Jmfab Talon. So we're gonna have to come up with a name for that. If you guys got any ideas, drop them in the comments. We'll start brainstorming a name for the GSX once we get that chassis built and we start racing that one. NFG? NFE? I guess it's an Eclipse, so NFE, or Eclipse, NFT, NFE. Probably just do NFE, huh? Jmfab Eclipse. But they may run into a little issue with another car that we picked up, which I'll show you guys eventually on that. But so that's coming down the road. But right now we got NFT, we got NFE, which is going to be the drag Talon or something, or the drag Eclipse down the road, and then we're working on Bucky's car right now. But yeah, we got another something else that we picked up, and we're going to go pick up tomorrow. Which today I'm working on. This is Saturday. I'll pick up on Sunday. But anyways, yeah, back to the fuel lines. So here I'll toss up the camera and show you guys. I struggled with that first one a little bit, but I kind of got an idea of what it takes now. So let's throw on an in real quick on this dash 6. All right, how to assemble a PTFE fuel line with a PTFE fitting. So you get your fuel line here. This one, we just bought this kit. So luckily the end's already cut. So we're gonna take that. You grab your fitting here, unscrew that end. We'll take that little nut side. It should just slide right over. Should just slide right over. So kind of let that chill. So next, what you want to do is grab a little screwdriver like this and get in between the plastic tubing and the braided steel braiding. Just kind of be nice and gentle, work through, oh, make sure you don't crack the line. You just kind of want to separate the braiding from the plastic, which is kind of tricky. If you got tape on there, make sure you take the tape off. So you just got to kind of work it around there, loosen it up some. You want to take your little ferrule, this guy here, and get it on the end of that hose. Make sure you don't have any steel braiding pinched between here and there, in between here. So you should be able to kind of slip it on the end there, and then just take the hose on your workbench and just kind of work it down on. Oh. Well, you don't want to do that. Ow. Just kind of work it on there. Boom, and then if you see inside there, it's like matted or mat up to the bottom. Grab your little tool here, shove it in there. Kind of not ream out, but make sure that plastic's out the way. All I gotta do is just shove this guy in here. Grab your nut, bring it up, and just screw it together. And then if you got some of these for your vise, these little aluminum adapter plates for your vise, you just kind of lock that in there. Get that into place. Grab your Allen wrench and just tighten it down. Boom, PTFE fitting. Well, that ended up kind of being a giant pain in the butt. So I got the fuel lines, I ran them already. mounting them all up and stuff where I wanted them to. I already had the fittings on the ends for the feed to the tank and the return to the tank. So I routed them how I wanted, got them all mounted up and stuff. And then obviously I had to take them back out, but I ran them up to the fuel filter. Sorry, the fuel filter, which is right back here. It's kind of hard to see, it's a little dark. And then the fuel pressure regulator. So, and then I got those marked with some tape right here. And that's where I'm going to cut them and put the fittings on. And then I got the other one marked somewhere along the right there. It's hard to see. And then I got to cut these, put the fittings back on, and then put these back on in the car. So these are the hardest ones. Like I said, it's kind of a pain in the ass with the car just being on jack stands and not on a lift up in the air. It's been a lot easier, but it is what it is. Working with what you got. This is what we got. So cut those, get those fittings back on, and then those will be ready to go back in the car. And then like that's technically the hardest part of the fuel system, is routing those lines. And then after that, all we got to do is make a line from the fuel filter to the fuel rail, and then from one side of the fuel rail, and then the other side of the fuel rail out to the pressure regulator. And then that should be all the fuel fittings. And then there's just, you know, hook up the filler neck and finish up the tank. So we're knocking it out. Okay, the hardest part's over, you guys. We got that was a pain in the butt to do this on the ground, but like I said, work with what you got. We got the fuel line for the return, ran from pressure regulator back to the tank. That's done, check. This one's tight, so I gotta tighten some fittings up. The feed line from the tank to the fuel filter right here is good. So now we just gotta build the line, like I said, from there to the fuel rail, and then from the fuel rail to the return. But we need some fittings, so I need another 90-890 here. We're gonna go down, loop it around, come up to here, and then we need a 90 over there on that side to go down underneath. So kind of at a stopping point right now on the fuel system for today, but we got the hardest part knocked out. So the lines are all mounted up underneath on the fuel tank. So we still got to finish up back here, hook up the filler, hook up the breather and stuff, but tighten up the feed. I got to order some caps for these, because this is in case you want to do like a surge tank and do a different, or like maybe like a mechanical fuel pump or something. We got those, but let's throw some -10 plugs on those for now. So got it all ran from front to back to front. So once those fittings come in, Jesus Christ, we'll finish wrapping up the fuel system on the road racer. So abracadabra, let's get some fittings. Well, damn it, it's more apart than it is together. So I'll get you guys a little update here. So as you can see, intake manifold is off. So I didn't have really intentions on pulling that off, but I converted all the bottom plugs to the push lock style. We got the map sensor / boost gauge sensor right here. So yeah, we pulled it off to convert that. We did the new thermal barrier gasket down here. We had to pick up this coil bracket, because obviously with the aftermarket intake manifold, it doesn't come with any brackets to attach the coil pack and the igniter. So Jmfab, which it's a Jmfab manifold, he makes this nice little bracket that bolts to the back of the block. That's all bolted on there. And then I started working on the wiring loom and harness again for the engine bay. So I got rid of all the plugs that this car doesn't need, AC plugs, evap stuff, idle speed control, like all that stuff. So I simplified the engine harness pretty much. So that's pretty much done. And I'm just got done. I'm not done. I'm almost there. I'm making the alternator power wire right now. So every power wire when it's a power wire, I like to use this black and red loom, so that way I know it's a power wire. And I'll use like red shrink wrap and stuff just to symbolize it's a power wire. And grounds I do in all black, kind of color coordinate it. So just kind of knocking stuff out here. New little upgrade for the shop. Little cart setup. I didn't realize how many sockets I had until I started organizing everything up here, but I'm always back and forth between the big toolbox back here, it's back there, and I do a lot of my work up on the front of the garage and the driveway and stuff. And picked up that cart eventually once I get an enclosed car trailer, and then I can just push that up into the car trailer, strap it down when we go to the track, have all the tools and stuff there, wheel out of the pits, we're good to go. So little Memorial Day pickup from Harbor Freight, got that. And then I've been picking through the wiring loom here, just kind of grabbing connectors and stuff as I need it. I haven't really been recording the wiring process because this, I mean, I don't know, some people may like it, but it's just kind of like blah, not too entertaining to watch. So we did finally get all the rest of the stuff for the fuel system, so got to finish that up, which that was this part right here. If you can see up there, that's that little, I don't know if you can really see right there, but got to replace that. That's all rotted out. So almost done with the fuel system as far as the plumbing and all that stuff goes. And then we just got to fix this connector and finish the wiring and all that type of stuff. So we're making some pretty good progress. It's just wiring right now. It's just kind of slow and tedious and stuff, and there isn't too much mechanical stuff to do. I mean, I got to put the intake manifold and stuff back on, but there isn't. The list is getting smaller. The list is getting smaller. So it's out here wrenching away, knocking stuff out, you guys. You know, GSD, baby. Let's get it. Well, let's roll up underneath there and see what we got. All right, so the fuel system is, the plumbing is 100% complete. So we just put this new guy on here because the old one was all rotted out, so we had to order this little 90. Some new worm clamps on there. I have those old stupid, I don't even know what type of clamps they were, but the factory clamps. So fuel filler is good. I put it on a new breather tube, the vent tube for it. There's the return line. Okay, that's all tightened up, dash sticks. So we got these plugs on here in case in the future this car ever goes mechanical fuel pump. It's got a sump pump set up on this tank, but right now we just got 2 caps for those fittings. So those are all tight. That's all tight. All the fuel lines, obviously I did brackets. Those are all good the whole way. All tight. Woo! Okay. And then all we got left to do is for the fuel system to be functional. We got the dash 8 feed line, all good. So all we got to do is now we just got to finish up the wiring, which that's what I've been kind of working on other aspects of the car, but we just got to finish up the wiring. So as far as the plumbing goes, that is all good. Let's take you guys up here and show you. So we got the, I guess got this intake manifold chilling on right there. So here, let me pull that off real quick and I can show you the rest of the fuel system. Okay, so here's the rest of the fuel system. So we got some wiring here. So the new fuel lines come up from underneath the car, bam. Feed goes in the fuel filter, goes over to that side of the fuel rail, and then obviously comes across injectors, comes out to the return, to the pressure regulator, back down, and then shoots back to the tank. So fuel system is 100% complete. And this system with that fuel pump, fuel line size, everything, I think should be rated for 1,000 horsepower. That's what the internet says anyways. Oh, I'm gonna get the lighting better. So that's the fuel line system, you guys, on the DSM. That's building 1,000 horsepower fuel system. So the tank technically wasn't necessary, but this is, you know, track car and stuff, so I'll lose a little bit of weight there. And but everything else was, you know, this drops into technically the factory tank. But so we got the Hellcat 535 fuel pump, we got dash 8 PTFE lines from the tank all the way to the fuel rail, and then same thing from the regulator back to the tank, which is -6 PTFE for the return. So yeah, fuel system's good, 100% plumbed. We just got to do the wiring. So that was a fun adventure. That was my first time ever doing a full fuel system from pretty much scratch, from tank install to fuel pump install to building lines and everything. So went relatively quick. The biggest pain in the butt thing was not having the car on like a lift and trying to like roll around on the creeper while you're like stretching out the lines. It was kind of a pain in the ass, but work with what you got, right? So but that's it for now. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and get out there and GSD, baby.